Dude, side note, I just want to tell you that I've always wanted you to be my co-host. Yeah, I just fucking, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't ask you, but I just went with Emil, but I just wanted, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy because when I moved in here, I thought my friends were like already like backing out, and I was going to ask you if you could be my co-host. That's actually crazy, dude, because that would have been sick. Yeah, but dude. Hey, you know what we should do? We should start a side one in the future. But that's sick, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. But, I mean, look at him now. Now, this is what happens when you get a fucking old co-host.
So, did he have COVID? Severe diarrhea?
I don't know. He's got everything.
Yeah.
He's just like slowly, his age is showing, and he got sick. He can't party like he used to anymore. He tries drinking like, dude, this is what happens. This is what happens when you make a 44, 45-year-old do Edward 40 hands.
Dude, that was so funny. And honestly, like,
Are you mad at him for
I was mad that he didn't tape his hands.
Dude, I was too, but I'm not going to force the guy, and I'm not going to make it a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, had I been like, bro, I was like, don't be a pussy, like, do it. He would have done it. Mm-hmm. And I know he would have, but I didn't want to put him in pain. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, when I was making vlogs, like, I just had to say these words. Come on, bro, do it for the vlog. And whatever it was, my friends would do it. But I think that's just being young, you know?
Yeah.
But when you're older, you're like, I'm not doing fucking 40 hands. Like, I'm not taping my hands. Like,
yeah, dude, that's another thing. Like, he's so old and so, like, full of wisdom, and he just doesn't care what people think. So he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, all right, dude, sorry. You know?
But
like,
he still got, like, pretty drunk, dude. Like, towards the end, I was like, oh, yeah.
It paid off, though, right? That I made him drink it? Like, that first one, and, like, dude, he drank...
That was a good idea.
One in under 15 minutes.
That was a good idea that you made. So the first one, like, mandatory, you have to finish this one in 15 minutes. Yeah. That made it like way better because then he's not like lagging it throughout the episode. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But you didn't have to get up to go pee. Like, I feel like when I did 40 hands, like, nah. That's the worst part when you gotta pee.
Yeah.
And you're just right there, like.
You can't even do it. That's why, dude. That's why I told him, I was like, I'll pull your pants down for you if you want.
He's like, Jordan, I'm 45.
You don't care. I don't care, dude. All right, we can start now. You ready?
All right, yeah, I'm ready, bro.
All right, dude. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Slav on the Pod. Fuck, I almost said your podcast.
Ooh.
To the Slav on the Pod. If anything looks different, that's because I'm somewhere different.
Things have changed.
Yeah, Emil got sick. Honestly, I'm gonna say this. I got sick and tired of Emil. I don't know if you guys caught this. I really didn't want to call him out on the podcast, but fuck him. No, dude. So every time, I'm sure if you guys been watching, like, he's always on his phone. He's never paying attention. He always looks bored, and I'm just like, I just couldn't do it anymore. So, he'll probably post about it later. I don't know. I don't fucking care. But yeah, he's no longer my co-host for the podcast, so he is fired.
Emil, you had your time.
Yeah, dude. I thought we were having a fun time. You know, I made it so easy for him. He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I did everything. All he has to do is show up and be himself, and he couldn't even do that.
Showed up.
He had to be everywhere else but the podcast.
And you know what's funny? He just took a vacation. Now he's sick and tired of your shit, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, what a coincidence. Yeah. He's fucking sick now.
That is crazy, though. Like,
but yeah, so we had to call in reinforcements. No, for real, though. Emil's just really sick.
Severe diarrhea.
It's so bad that we couldn't even do the podcast where we normally do it. So I hit up one of my good friends.
Yeah.
Sebastian Leon.
Yes, sir.
Right? Is that how you say it?
Leon. Sebastian Leon. Oh, Sebastian Leon.
All right, dude. My bad. I know you're an F1 fucking race car driver.
For real.
You look like you could be an F1 race car driver.
That'd be chill. I could probably fit in there. But you
how tall are you?
Small. 6 foot.
Nah, you can't, dude.
Nah,
never mind. Too big.
That's fine.
Anyways.
I'd rather be too big than too small.
So she said. So if you guys know, we always start the episode with a queef quote, which is I'm just making fun of people that need quotes to feel their day. I think it's cheesy, but whatever. We have them, and sometimes I catch a good one, and I appreciate it. But for this episode, I actually have a co-host that did some work opposed to Emil that I've been trying to get. All I need is a quick quote for him, and he can't come up with one.
Yeah.
He thinks it's homework. I didn't know I signed up for homework.
He thinks it's homework. This guy.
So I simply just text Sebas. Can I call you Sebas?
Yeah.
I text Sebas and I was like, dude, can you come up with a quick quote? That'd be cool. And he's like, dude, I'm down. So thank you, man. So he brought one. So
yeah,
go ahead.
So first of all, like I always, I mean, not always, but sometimes I'll post like queef quotes on my story, you know, because I think I've always thought that, like, you know, just inspiring quotes, like there's a fucking Bruce Lee quote right there, bro. Like,
but it's Bruce Lee, so it's cool.
Yeah, but I think some of them are cool, some of them are cringe, and then
Yeah.
this is one of the cringe ones that I found. Yeah. So, good men are hard to find because they aren't looking for you. They are chasing success, building themselves, and certainly don't have time to be liking your Instagram posts. Like, bro, and then it's a picture of Kevin Hart running.
Yeah,
like, dude, I hate
that's
that.
Another
dude.
thing. That's another thing too, is when people post motivational quotes and like the pictures or the videos they put with them. It's usually always like Rocky montages and like fighting ones.
It's ridiculous, bro.
It's so cheesy. It's just like, but you know what? Once again, like I get it. Because I used to be that way, where not so much quotes. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I had like a whiteboard where I wrote like legit dope quotes.
Really? Like that you came up with, or just like ones that you saw?
That I found like just reading books or whatever. Yeah. And sometimes they weren't even quotes; they were just stuff out of a book that I thought was really cool.
Well, I think that's cool. So like when you read a book and you find like these like good quotes or just like passages, I feel like that's better than just scrolling through Instagram and seeing something like that. And
no, yeah, that's a good point. Whenever you see something in a book that's like a quote is like, I feel like a quote is something that like people like cut this out and that's what they want you to see. When you're reading a book, you find like your own quote. You find like something where you're like, dude, that's pretty deep. Like I get that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't meant to be a quote. It was just like a line or paragraph in a book.
Yeah.
But that paragraph or that line is like, dude, that's dope. This isn't a quote. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like if you find your own, because it pertains to you. You read it and you're like, automatically you're like, oh, dude, I get that. Like that totally goes with what I'm going through in life. Opposed to like someone else like putting out a very broad, you know, quote. It's like, yeah, dude, of course, if it gets hard, keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and then a picture of Kevin Hart running, and you're like, bro, what does it have to do with
what is exactly? Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, shout out to him. He has his own studio. He has his own podcast. This, what is it? The
Sebleon Internet Show, transitioning into just the Internet Show. But I needed to start it off with my name, just so like the YouTube algorithm, when you search up Sebleon, it pops up right away.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, because it's harder to just start it as an internet show. Then people look it up, and it's like 100 different things before mine.
Yeah, dude, that's why I thought the slob on the pod would be cool because of slob on my knob. But if you type in slob on the pod, it goes to slob on my knob. So
does it actually?
Yeah, it doesn't really go to me, so it doesn't help. But you're smart with that.
I think I've looked it up before, and it pops up.
Yeah, because you've seen it so many times. It's in your thing already.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Sometimes like I'll get on like random phones and I'll just like
I do that too. I'll do that at work. Like I'll just look up my YouTube. Yeah. I'll start playing it, get some views.
Or I like to see what it looks like just to like type in the slob and see what starts coming up to see like if it like on a random computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it probably knows. It probably sees this. But yeah, so he's letting me use his studio. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Dude, of course. And honestly, I've been wanting to come on for a while, and I've been waiting for that text that's like, hey, dude, like, let's get you on. And, you know, I thought it would come a little sooner, but
all right, dude.
I understand.
All right. To be fair, this is a perfect time that Emil's not here because I don't think you guys are both good, so it would have been tough. So I think it's best that I get you one-on-one.
Yeah, makes sense.
Opposed to me, Emil, and you.
And I still have yet to meet Emil. He seems like a chill guy. Pretty wise.
We should just go our entire lives. You never meeting Emil.
I know, huh? That's like the thing. Like I've just never met him. That'd be funny.
Even if
what if he doesn't like me? Like what if he thinks I'm just like a dumbass kid? Yeah.
How old are you?
23. I'm not a kid
and
anymore.
You just got married?
Yeah. So we could relate on some stuff. He's married, right?
Yeah, he's been married for like 15 years.
Yeah. He could give me
You've been married for what, like 15 days?
15 days, yeah, like 2 months. So maybe he could give me some wisdom on that, like how to keep a successful marriage.
Dude, no, he's the worst because, like, let me tell you, like, recently having my kid, obviously he has 2.
Okay.
But, like, I'd ask him stuff and he'd just be like, dude, I don't know, man. Just, like, you'll know what to do when the time comes. I'm like, you're no fucking
That's the worst advice. Like, not even trying to give you some wisdom. Just like, you'll figure it out, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, dude. I could have just said that myself.
Yeah.
He sucks.
When he's been through the challenges that you're going through right now with your son, like, He's done it twice.
He wants me to experience it. He's like, nah, dude, he's like, you're gonna ruin the fun. Like, just be surprised.
Okay.
I don't want surprises, man.
Yeah,
help me out.
You want to just? Oh, that sucks. Emil, you suck. I'm just kidding.
We're just gonna shit on Emil the entire episode. This is what you get, dude. Maybe you shouldn't get sick.
Yeah, dude. Come on, liquid IV, and you're still getting sick.
Plus, also, we've been on a roll. Like, we don't want to like jinx it or anything, and I probably am now. But since January of the new year, we've been posting an episode every week.
Yeah.
So we were on a streak, and I didn't want to break it, so I was like, I have to record an episode. Like when I was texting him, he tells me he's like sick and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, and I'm like, you good? You need anything? And like I went to town yesterday, and I was like, hey, I'm in town. Like, do you need any food? And he was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, all right, I don't mean to be a dick, but like we really need to record an episode, and like you got to let me know, are you able to record one or not? Because then that's when I called you. That's why I was like, fuck, dude, like you were my first choice, and then I had others, but I was like, dude, I need someone like tonight.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was all going crazy. But yeah.
Well, I think I commend you because you want to keep it going, like, because you could just say like, all right, we'll push it back a week, let him recover. But you're like, no, like I need to get an episode out, which is like the right mindset you should have, right? Like you should have that mindset to keep it going once a week. And if you need a sub in, like, then that's fine because it's just 1 week, you know?
Yeah.
Emil will be back.
It's one episode, Emil.
Yeah.
Chill out, dude.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be like, that guy fucking...
He's just he's hate watching right now.
Dude, he totally is. He's like, okay, that's such a stupid topic.
He said, like, I feel like when you're really, like, you're not really starting, like, you're already 111 episodes in.
I'm still starting, dude.
But it's like consistency that's going to get you where you want to be.
I fucking hope so, dude. You know what? I don't even know, like, I'm just, like, making sure I have an episode every week. I don't know the end goal.
Yeah. But, I mean,
I don't know how this works.
Need one. No podcasts right now have an end goal. Like, I've seen podcasts that they'll even change the name on the channel and just do a completely different podcast. Like, Brendan Schaub and Theo Vaughn, how they had theirs, and then Theo Vaughn left, and then so he just completely changed the name and added 2 new hosts.
Yeah, and
then now it's just different. But I feel like podcasts are evolving so much that who knows where they're gonna be in like 10 years from now, and then we'll just evolve how they evolve, but also do our own thing. But I think this space right now is really growing, and there's so much opportunity in it, and that's why it's so fun to do too. Like that's why you keep doing it, because you really like it, you know?
Dude, it's so much fun. And like I don't know, like how many episodes you got?
25. We just did 25 on Friday. Yeah.
25. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Where were you at 25?
I'm just joking.
Like what were you doing? Do you remember like episode 25? Because that's a milestone, 4th of the way to 100.
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and this is just a me thing. You don't have to follow me, but don't celebrate like those little
dude. And yeah, I heard you say that shit. I heard you say that shit, and I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid because
all right, let's hear this.
Because what's at the beginning of every title in your episode?
Episode
number. So what's the point of putting the numbers if you don't give a fuck about the numbers?
Honestly, it's a reference. It's what episode did you guys talk about this? That was like episode 99.
Okay.
Like at least, or even I guess I could have just put like EP the number. But what are you getting at? What's the point of that? That's why I do it.
I think, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a numbers guy. Like
so you think like so when you hit like 50 episodes, are you gonna celebrate it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the way I think about it is like you work so hard to get to these milestones, and I mean maybe you don't see them as milestones, but I mean hitting 100 episodes, I just feel like that's such a cool accomplishment because it's a marker for like how far you've come. And bro, like I've scrolled through all your stuff. I haven't seen every episode because it's a lot of episodes.
No, yeah.
And you don't edit shit, so like you gotta go through all the fluff.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Dude.
No, but
whoa, dude, you said I got fluff.
No. But like I've seen that you started it by yourself. Like you added like guests here and there, and then now you have Emil. So it's evolving. But to get to 100, like that took a lot of like. How many times did you think you were gonna stop?
Yeah, dude, a lot. I still think about that, even now.
So all of the times that you thought you were gonna stop, and then once you get to 100, you didn't feel like a part of you didn't feel like, damn, I really accomplished. Like I made it to 100.
No, and I'll tell you why. For me, because even when I hit 100, nothing really changed as far as the views. Nothing.
Yeah.
So like I was at 100 episodes, but it was still the same. And no, and I'm not like fucking hate on the 35 that I was getting every time. Yeah. But that's all it was. And so when I hit 100, that wasn't a big deal to me. It was just like because that just showed me anyone can do it. Anyone can put out 100 episodes. Is anyone putting out legit good shit for 100 episodes? So that's where I started getting on myself. So I'm like, what am I celebrating for? Like nothing at 100, other than the fact that cool. And I can't even applaud that because I didn't consistently do it.
Yeah,
those 100 like in like actual podcasts. If you ever see them, like start from beginning to like when they first like put episode 1 out. Yeah, if they're legit in 100 episodes, they could do that in like 6 months probably. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing for me. There was nothing to celebrate at 100 because I was like, I should have had 100 episodes by now. Like there's nothing. So I didn't see it like that. Yeah. But this, you know what? And I understand what you're saying and I respect it. But like that's just how I didn't see it. But I'll tell you this: if this year, if I do post an episode every week till the end of the year, maybe then that's something I want to celebrate because that is something that I'm like. Honestly, consistency is something that's like the toughest in this. You know it as well. Yeah. So like if I can get through that, then that'll be something I want to celebrate.
That makes sense. And I think so at the beginning, probably I think you came on like episode 14, 15 around there. And at that time I was really like trying to post every week, like being super consistent. But, you know, the way things line up with guests and then like with your co-host schedules and everything, it was hard to like have one out once a week. And I was putting stress on myself. But then when I had you on, you were like, dude, you kind of gave me like the guidance in the podcast world where it's like on the episode, if you haven't seen it, like we have an episode with Jordan. Yeah, like episode 15. You gave like the tips like, dude, don't worry about like being super consistent because things happen, but as long as you keep it going, like good things will come out of it. And so I kept it going, and then like now I'm here in this new studio because of the opportunity that I've been given from getting guests. And it's just like a point, like if you keep going, new things will pop up. Just like how your co-host popped up, and like now your show's like doing really good, like with its content.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, that goes back to like you talked about this too. Like there's podcasts out there that you know, after 20 or 30, they change everything. They're like, oh, let's just go completely different. Let's change the name. Let's change the whole everything. The no guest. Now we're gonna whatever they do. They change like everything dramatically, and they just continue with that. I don't like that. Like whatever you have going, you can keep that. I don't know. I guess like title wise, I've always just. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of titles in the time of 100 episodes where I've been like, this would have been way better. But I'm like, nah, this is what I started with. This is what stuck. This is what everyone up until now knows. Yeah. So I just stuck with that, and I was like, within that podcast, I'll make the changes. And obviously, as you saw, but like, if you go back to like my very first ones, it was just me. Yeah. I wanted to do a solo one. Yeah. And then every now and then have guests, and then I was like, fuck, solos. Really hard. Yeah. So then I was getting guests. And then that was like kind of my thing, just like guests all the time. And that alone, like trying to get guests, the stress of like who you're going to get next. If you have like a really great episode, you kind of try to, the next one you want to either one up it or at least make it that good. So you're always like, there's so much stuff you're going on. So that every episode has to be that. And sometimes I would be like, man, fuck it. I just wouldn't put out an episode because I'd be like, it was too stressful and that would ruin like my consistency with that. So then, in time, I was like, all right, less guests, more of me, but I need a co-host. And with the whole time, I kept it, the Slob on the Pod. I kept everything. If you were to watch like the beginning to now, you would see a difference, but it's still like the same me. It's still like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't agree in like people changing and stuff like that. But I mean, you got to do whatever you got to do to like keep yourself going. Exactly, yeah. But at the same time, dude, you've worked so much with that one. And I feel like most people... that follow you, they're like they already know me as the Slob on the Pod. Yeah. And if I was to change it to the Jordan Show, people would still look for Slob. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just why do you fuck that up? And then I feel like you harm yourself because you kind of already somewhat established like a name. Yeah. Exactly. Now you're gonna switch it up on everyone, and they're like, I don't know who this fucking guy is this week. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna change it again? And like I said, once again, no disrespect to people that do that because I know podcasts that do that. and I still listen to them and follow them. But I don't know. For myself, I was like, just whatever you got going, keep it going, and within that podcast, then make those changes without making a whole dramatic fucking whole new podcast.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And if you have to kick guests off or bring on guests, whatever you got to do to make the podcast good for yourself. I'm not gonna lie. Like between me and you, obviously for my podcast, I'm like I started this, so this is like mainly my thing. So I put more into it.
Yeah.
I don't expect much out of Emil. Just him being there alone is like good enough for me. Like that's crazy that we can plan like a weekly episode like with someone.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that completely. Like especially because you're the one like doing the editing and then uploading it, making sure everything works when you're here. Like you're setting up everything.
Yeah, and
it's really just about like you, because you're the one that does it. Like you're the one that does everything. So
yeah,
it's having a co-host definitely helps. But it's not like it's like I have to have a co-host, you know?
No, yeah, you definitely don't. And it's whatever. Like I said, it's nice to have like a specific person every episode for sure. I know he's gonna be there for sure. We're gonna get an episode out because it's just me and him.
Yeah.
That's why when I first started the podcast, I think I told you this, but like I just did it by myself because I didn't want to put the blame on anyone else.
Yeah.
If the podcast failed, or like if an episode didn't get put out, or if it didn't get recorded, or anything happened, it was all my fault.
Yeah.
When I have a co-host, especially when you start a podcast from the beginning with a co-host, that's both of your guys's.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
a sense, like this podcast is like mine, and then I brought Emil on. And like no disrespect to him, but that's just how it is because I do like most of everything.
And he understands that too, right? Like he's like
shitting on Emil again.
I know. Sorry, Emil. We love you. What's his name? Chotehost?
Chotehost.
The Grizzly Bear? Or was it?
The Grizzly
Bear.
Dude.
Okay.
He came up with that himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I've always like at my job, I'm always like, dude, if Emil ever walks in here, and I've thought this before, I'm like, if Emil ever walks in here, I'm gonna call him like the Grizzly Bear or the Chode Host.
Oh my god, dude!
If no one's around, I'm gonna be like, "What's up, Chode Host?"
He'd be so embarrassed.
That would be funny, dude.
He's funny out in public. You got to see him.
Yeah, I gotta meet him.
Honestly, dude, Emil is the real life like fucking what is it called? Bigfoot.
Really, like Sasquatch?
Yeah, because I think about it, you rarely see him out in public.
Dude,
and when you do, if you try getting a picture, it's all blurry. And all you see is like a thing with like facial hair and like hairy arms and stuff. Just like
he's a hairy guy, huh?
Yeah.
Have you seen his back? I bet you it's pretty hairy.
Have I seen his back?
I don't think he'd have a hairy back.
Oh. Dude, yo,
I'm sorry,
honestly, Emil, bro, you gotta go hard on this kid.
I know he's gonna come.
Dude,
he's gonna like, look at this fucking kid.
Wait till next episode. We're gonna do a whole. We're gonna give him a Saturday Night Live opening monologue just to shit on you,
dude. If he sees my calves, he's gonna be like, "Bruh."
Emil, let me tell you this. All right, I brought him on just because I know he has a podcast, so he has experience. I thought he'd be great as a co-host. I did not bring him on for him to shit on you. I apologize.
No, I love.
I
Emil.
do not co-sign this. So
I really enjoy your guys' podcast together. Emil, I love you, but there's just some things, bro, that you got to work on. Don't be lazy. Don't be sick. Dude, don't be hairy. Nah, and then all your fans are gonna be like, nah, fuck this kid.
Nah, dude, you're cool.
23-year-old
Don't say
loser.
fans, by the way. I don't like that word.
I know,
I'm sorry.
Fans, dude. Fans is like such a like douche thing to say. I feel like
honestly, it's even like somewhat. I hate this word too, but it's somewhat like cringe. Like
it is cringe.
Some of my like favorite comedians that are, you know, when I hear them on the podcast, they really try to push that they're down to earth. I get it, man. Like you have a lot of money now, you're rich, like, and you do like an awesome job. Like brag about it. That's why I like Bert Kreischer because he tells you how it is. Like he's a real person. Like yeah, dude, I got money. Like I want to show you how I celebrate. Like that's how a normal person would act.
Yeah.
All these like comedians, and no disrespect to him, but a lot of them really try to push like, no, man, I'm real down to earth and stuff. So I hate seeing that. Where was I going with this?
Well, yeah.
Well, where was I going with this? I had a good point.
Fuck. Emil. And nah, dude, I lost it too. But you should tell Emil that he should take his shirt off for the podcast. And he could be like the Bert Kreischer.
Oh,
dude, imagine he just has his shirt off every episode.
No, the cool thing about Emil is he's just like me, as in like we don't want to ever come off as anyone else.
Right. You just want to be authentic.
Like something is
yes, through and through.
So like even this, I'll say this. We had an episode when we talked about Drake's dick.
Yeah.
Penis. Sorry, no cursing this episode. But yeah, so we titled it Drizzy Glizzy.
And
and we have a friend that does stand up, and that was like kind of one of his jokes that he called it. Like, it was Drizzy's Glizzy.
Yeah.
And I called him out on the episode, telling him it was like a cheap joke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to title it that, and Emil was like, dude, I don't think we should. Like, that's kind of like stealing his thing, and we're just gonna take it. And I'm like, dude, like Drizzy Glizzy is like, yeah, he did it like in his set, but it's been a meme for a while. Like they've done like Drake on a hot dog, and they call it Drizzy Glizzy. So we're not really stealing anything, but I respect him for the fact that like anything even similar to like stealing anyone's anything, identity or the Burt Kreischer thing, like he would never take his shirt off. He's like, dude, no, why? Like he's really trying to just do his own thing.
That makes sense, and I mean that's the way to go. Like, why is he gonna try to pretend to be someone else? But can I ask you this? How did you...
No, you can't. Wait, let me ask you this. Why do you say, "Can I ask you this?" and then you ask me anyways?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Like, what did you say? Can I ask you this? And I was like, no, you can't.
Jordan, I have a speech impediment.
All right,
just kidding.
I just like to call them.
No, I'm joking.
Go ahead. You can ask me.
And I do, like, bro, every single episode I watch back, I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? Like,
no, you're good.
Why didn't I fix it? But it's a learning process. But let me ask you this.
Or it's not, and that's just you.
Yeah, probably. How did you and Emil, like, how did you decide, like, Emil's the guy to have the co-host, as a co-host?
That's actually a good question. You should say that for Tuesday. You want that on this podcast?
No, honestly, like,
all right.
I don't mind.
You have your own notes. All right, I'll answer that. Emil on the podcast. Okay, so I had Emil on. Well, first, obviously, I met him doing stand up. I thought he was hilarious on stage. Literally, the first time I met him, he came off stage and I went right to him and I was like, "Bro, you're hilarious. Hopefully, you come back." And I think I told him about the podcast. And then, like, fast forward, he started coming to more shows. We hung out more. He was a cool guy. I had him and my buddy Cody on the podcast that also does stand up. And he was, I'm not going to lie, the first 2-3 episodes that I had him on, he was very shy and he didn't talk much. But when he did, he had like some really funny shit. And I just knew he had to be on more to get comfortable. Because then we had him on a few times before that where it was I had just him on and he was hilarious. And then I always just liked hanging out with him in general.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing, too. I was like, well, I got to also want to hang out with this guy. Like, I love doing the podcast with him. After we do the podcast, we always end up hanging out, too. We either go get food or we hang out and still drink or whatever. Like, he's just a fun guy to always be around. So I look forward to hanging out with him. So then the one thing that got me was I had him sit in for the first time. And in my head, he was like my co-host for that episode, but he thought he was just a guest plus another guest. And I had Caesar.
Okay.
Partida?
Yeah. Dapper. Yeah.
I had him on, and it was just such a perfect dynamic. It was me and Caesar, which I'm not young, but we're younger than Emil, and Emil older, but also like a very young, like a young mind and like a hip person, and he's like very funny, and he knows the shit that's going on like in everyone's pretty much like centuries, like every time frame. And it was just cool to get like his perspective on things, and he was just so funny, and it worked, like having an older person with like younger kids in a weird way. I know normally that doesn't work, but in this case it did.
I feel like it works really good, yeah.
And after that episode, that one I was like, if I ever want to have a co-host, he's someone I'm gonna ask. And literally probably like the next day I was like, oh, I need a co-host. And it also, like I said, I knew having a co-host would for sure like that would really help the consistency, because like I said, it was no more stress looking for a guest. I always had a designated guest pretty much.
Yeah.
And once I asked him and he said yes, that was like, okay, now you're no longer like a guest. Like when you come on, we just talk.
Yeah.
We don't need to have a whole like, so what was it like growing up? We don't have to do none of that. You can have stories that are funny, but we're just gonna have topics now, and you're just gonna be you, and you're gonna be the slob as well. And that was it. And it kind of just went from there, and it was cool because when I asked him, he was like very of course, him being so humble, he's like, dude, like, are you sure? Like, really, me? I'm like, yeah, dude. And I knew this going in. Like, that's the cool thing. I've hung out with him so long enough that I know him pretty well, and it's cool. Like, I know when he's feeling a certain way, and like, I'm like, dude, like, I know what to. I'm like, bro, let's get a drink and let's hang out. Then we'll start the podcast, and then like, I know what gets him. So, he's like, for me, he's easy to read. He's fun. Yeah. He's perfect as a co-host.
Yeah, I think it's the best decision you've made to like add a co-host. Thank you. and then you made the right decision with Emil, because like you guys vibe together really good, and then your guys' dynamic really does work like you could see it translates to the audience. I feel like.
Thanks, man.
Like when I'm watching your episodes, I'll have them on, like I'll put it on, and then I'm at work or I'm just like at home, and I'll just like listen to the whole thing through because it doesn't feel like I have to be like right there, eyes on the screen, because I know like your guys' dynamic, and then I could just hear it, and it sounds like I feel. Do you ever watch a podcast and you just feel comfortable watching it? Like you feel like you're there but not there at the same time?
I mean, that's very gay, but I get what you're saying, and I appreciate it. I get what you're saying. Yeah, dude. Like, there's like a good like probably 3 podcasts that I listen to, and every time like an episode ends, I'm like, fuck. Like, I want to hang out with. I feel like you're hanging out with the person when you're in the conversation in the podcast. So like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you want to hear more of them, or like you want to like you feel. I don't know. Like, I get the the feeling like a part of it or something though.
Yeah, you feel like you're a part of it when you're watching it. But dude, I wanted to tell you this. So when we did our episode back in November, whenever it was, I got super drunk. And it wasn't my intention, but I think at that time, like we were just doing Twisted Teas every pod. And
yeah, you guys like those.
Yeah, I had like 5 or 6, and I was pretty lightweight. So by the end of it, dude, we had like a 3-hour conversation, but I cut it down to like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it's because the cameras were cutting off, and then like I didn't have the cameras with the unlimited battery, like I do now. But I just remember by the end I was kind of like hazy. Like I don't really remember the conversation we were having, bro. But I just remember it was like really chill, and like I just feel bad because I wanted to. I just hope that I didn't come off like in a bad way, you know, by the end.
No, not at all, dude.
Because it was the first time I had met you.
No, and because you gotta understand too, like everything you're doing, like I've been there, so like I understand like the stress or like the anxiety of like bringing a guest on. It's like, man, I want them to feel comfortable, and I want the conversation to flow, and I want them to have a good time, and like and I want to make sure the camera, like especially what you do everything, so there's so much going on in your head. So no, man, I totally get it. Like you just wanted to get drunk and let loose and have fun, and that's what happened. And no, dude, you weren't messy at all. Like you were funny. It was fun. I
wasn't slobby on that one.
Yeah, you were getting there. You were getting there. You could have gone more, but and you're home, dude. I'm like, it's your house.
That's
like,
true, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get drunk. That's why I used to love when I first started the podcast and I had it at my house. I always felt bad because like I'm over here like trying to get my guests to drink more, and they still have to drive home or like, so I'm like, fuck. But I would just get fucked up. I'm like, dude, I'm at my house. Like, I'll just pass out here. You know what I'm saying? So, no, dude, no, I had fun. I honestly, I was like, I told you, I was excited to be on your guys' podcast. I'd never been invited to anyone else's. There's not a lot out here, so it was really cool. It was fun, and like
it was
I said,
a sick episode. Like
it was
nice.
Really chill. Yeah, it was nice to do a podcast where I didn't have to. I just went and you just did everything. I was just there. You know what I'm saying? So it was fun for me. Yeah, and it was cool that you let loose and got a little drunk. That's dope, dude. Like that means that for me, that shows that you're comfortable in front of me to do that. Because, dude, I'll tell you this: like, as an avid drinker, not an alcoholic, as an avid drinker, one of the big things is always like you got to know like when you're drinking around new people, like you got to know like, all right, dude, like I can't get too fucked up. I don't know this person that well. Like, how do they get when they get drunk? I got to watch what I say. So I always fill people out, but like with you, you do what I do. Like when the minute you meet someone, you're just like, this guy's a good person. I can get fucked up around them.
That's cool.
And they're not gonna stick the dick in my butt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just feel
it's not gonna end bad.
Yeah, you just feel that comfortable. You're like, I'll let loose. Dude.
No, when I was in front of bruh. when I was younger, I did have that problem, dude. Like, you know, when you first start drinking, you don't really know your limits and stuff. So like, I would hang around new people, and I feel like I would get like way too trashed. And
I had my period where I was just like, everyone's gonna take care of me. No one's gonna hurt me.
But I didn't like it, like becoming that person, because I'm the guy that when I get super drunk, I'm like the fun, like happy guy. I'm not like the angry guy. So I feel like that comes off as annoying too. Like, as much as like someone who gets mad and starts like breaking shit and gets angry, even someone that like gets super drunk and starts being like, dude, you're so cool, like blah blah blah. See, like that shit gets annoying too.
It can get annoying, but at the same time, I'd prefer that over an aggressive drunk.
Yeah, for sure.
I prefer you to be like all over and like touchy and like, I love you, and like just being happy and funny and cool. Yeah. And like, it will get annoying at some point, but I'd rather have that than you like, bro, you see that guy? He's fucking staring at us. Do you want to go fight?
Dude, I hate that shit.
No, dude, like, and I had a buddy that I met, And he was cool, and like, yeah, dude. Every time we went out, I could just see it. Like he was just drinking, like looking for something. I'm like, oh, dude, I can't get drunk now. I gotta watch this guy. Like, I'm gonna have to jump in and help him. I'm not a fighter, but you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. And like, I just was, it's not fun, dude. So, being the funny, like, just annoying, like, touchy fun guy, then that's totally
touchy fun guy is crazy.
That's what it is, dude.
Yeah, no, that is what it is. But I feel like, you know, as the years have gone by, I've just controlled it better. And now when I drink, like I don't get all crazy, but I have a good time. And I like getting to that period where you just feel like warm and you're like, all right, like this is good. But I don't like getting to the period or like to the point where you do it too much and then you're just like slobby, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, dude. That's a good point. That's good. At least you know. Yeah, now you know your limits.
Yeah,
and it takes time. Yeah. But you're not a big drinker though, right?
No. I used to be when I was like in high school, and then like after high school. Yeah, a couple years.
You're what? You're what? 22?
23.
23. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. So it's not that long ago, but I feel like it feels like a long time ago. Like 5 years ago feels like forever ago.
See, you know what? And I'm gonna say this, not like because I'm a square or anything, but I don't believe in like drinking at a young age. It ruins it for a lot of people. Like, because I was thinking about this. There's some comedians I like, bro. They started drinking and doing like hardcore drugs when they were. I think it's fucking dumb. That's like
there's a. Oh yeah, you got
it. But yeah, there's some comedians and like they started doing drugs and like alcohol and stuff like when they were like 10 and shit.
Yeah.
So by the time they were like 21, they were like, oh, I'm going sober, I'm going clean. Right. So they kind of like ruined the rest of their life. Like all they probably drank up until 21 is like cheap beer, cheap alcohol.
Yeah.
They didn't even have fun experience like cool drinks that they're being made now.
Exactly.
So now they're like, you know, now they're clean and no shit on them. Now they're like, you know, sober, good people and stuff. They did it for all the right reasons. But now they've gone life without enjoying like those drinks.
That's so true. Those great experiences that come from it too. Like you don't want to like cut yourself off from like the culture that comes with drinking, you know, because there's a lot of cool stuff that comes from it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, as much as I do it to get fucked up, it's all it's about. Like there's good drinks out there that you can drink and they taste just like juice.
Yeah, and
you have a fun time. Like they don't taste so bitter or whatever the fuck like you have an issue with, but. Yeah, man, I always think about it because I didn't start drinking like in high school. Like I was out skating a lot and I played sports. So, and like my parents were cool. Like they were like, look, you can take the car to this party, but you just can't drink. And I'm like, dude, I'd rather have a car than drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like everyone wanted to ride now. All the girls wanted to ride back home after. Like it was fucking perfect. Everyone was too drunk. And I didn't even care to drink at the time because it'd be like midnight and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go to the skate park now. Go to the skate park down the street. So like I would just skate like all night long. I'd take like a light and stuff. So like I didn't do that. I honestly didn't even get heavy drinking until like 23. Even when I turned 21, I was like, eh.
Okay.
And then but 23 when I was in the military, like it really ramped up. But
yeah.
I was also in Colorado at the time, so like there was breweries and they were like big in like beers and stuff. So I experienced, you know, like all the types of different beers and then I went to like fancy bars in like Denver and I had like old fashions and shit. You know, like really dope drinks that I would have never had I quit drinking.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah,
and then you end up finding out like, oh, there's drinks I like that, you know, I can drink a few of those and I'll be pretty good. Yeah. And then you learn all this stuff without having to just go like, yeah, dude, by 18 I was just a fucking alcoholic and I had to quit. Exactly. Otherwise my life was gonna end. It's like, oh man, like that sucks. I feel bad. But
yeah, and I've had periods like where like my dad was pissed at me because like I came home like super messed up and stuff. So I think it made me realize like. I mean, you don't have to get super fucked up like when you go out, and then those hangouts are so dope when you get through the whole night and you don't black out,
dude.
You know?
Yeah, it is really nice to remember like the night. Yeah,
I've always like if I ever blacked out like the next day, I'm like, fuck, dude, like I missed the whole night.
Well, know? Yeah, dude. Like I don't black out as much often, thank God, but anymore, but. Like for New Year's, I got pretty fucked up, and I didn't. Dude, we stayed up till 4 a.m. I remember saying like Happy New Year. I don't remember nothing after that. Yeah, and it sounded fun, and I'm like, dude, I don't remember any of it. It's like but I was still doing stuff or whatever. But I'm like, damn, dude, like so that kind of bummed me out. But I had a great time. Like I was with my buddy in the military. Like I went back to go visit him, and every time we hang out, we just get fucked up because that's what we used to do. And like that's like the only time probably that I go crazy is with him, and so. It bummed me out though. The next day, I was like, "Fuck, dude, my night ended at midnight, and you guys just went till 4 a.m. telling cool stories, probably." And
yeah, dude, exactly. Like,
and now I've gotten to the point where I can get pretty fucked up but I'll somehow I'll remember like getting home and like getting into bed and talking to my girl before I went to bed. Like I'll remember all that, and that's way better.
Yeah, that's
way
true.
way better. Like I don't. Yeah,
and I think getting married and now having like a structure around me really helped too. Because then now it's like, oh, you got your wife to think about. Yeah. Like you got your girlfriend and your baby to think about. Yeah. Well, how old is your son now?
He's gonna be 7 months today, actually. Shoo. Yeah, so he's almost 1. But yeah, definitely the kid really put like a lot of things different for me. Like I remember the first, like when he was first born, like that first month. Yeah. Once he was home and hanging out with us and stuff, like I tried getting drunk one night or just like having a few drinks, but just having to take care of him in the middle of the night and like being like somewhat hungover, kind of like having a headache was like, oh, dude, I can't be doing this. Like I got to be alert with him. So that really like, all right, cool. Like I'm just going to chill. And now he's at an age where he has a bedtime. So once he's out for the night, he's out for the night. He's starting to becoming like more independent. So not that it's okay for me to drink, but now like me and my girl have a thing like, okay, cool. It's like the weekend. So I'm going to get a little, and I don't even get fucked up. I probably, honestly, like not even, I'll probably drink like 3 tall cans and I'll just be good.
Yeah, that's good.
And I also smoke weed. So that's like, that also helps me from like drinking less. I'd rather like smoke more than drink. And I used to always hate on people when I was in the military, and I had friends that weren't in the military, but I met in Colorado, and they smoked weed and stuff. And every time we went out, like they would be high, but they wouldn't be fucked up like off alcohol, like that crazy, fun, just let loose. They were just more like mellow, and they were just like, nah, man. And they would have like 1 or 2 beers or something. They was like, nah, I'd rather smoke. And I would hate on it so much, but now that I smoke and now that I'm out of the military and I have that freedom, like I'm definitely I'm like, yeah, I get it now. I'd rather smoke. And sometimes I'm like, I'll get high and then have a few drinks and I'll be topped off perfectly. And I go to bed and I wake up feeling great. Yep. Not hungover or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just take some time, though. I had a question for you, though. Having your own podcast, because I talked about like the stress I had trying to find guests, but how do you struggle finding guests? Do you guys have like lined up dates already? Like how you guys doing with that?
So it's honestly been the hardest thing because my job, they only give me my schedule like. I get my schedule every Tuesday, and it's only for the next 5 or 6 days. So it's not like I can schedule guests like weeks in advance or anything. So that makes it hard because my schedule is not like Monday through Friday 9 to 5. It's all over the place. Like some days mornings, some days nights. Yeah. So I think I'll just schedule like 1 guest a week, and it hasn't been hard finding guests because there are a lot of like. So the concept of my show is comedy and conversations with entrepreneurs, and so like I think of it as like entrepreneurs in Yuma or like in Arizona or anywhere close that have something going on, like they do what they love for a living, and I used it as a way to kind of open my eyes to see how I can make a living doing something that I love, and it doesn't have to be like at the full scale, like, rich and famous. Because I think when I was younger, like making YouTube videos, I just saw like big YouTubers and how they lived, and it's like, oh, I want that life. Like I want to shoot for that. Yeah. But with no experience and no like wisdom from other people, like I just really didn't know how to get there. And then so now, like with this podcast, having that concept of being able to talk to these people that do what they love for a living, it's really opened my eyes to just see how much opportunity there is, even in a town like this that's not super huge, like 200,000 people.
Yeah. No, you pretty much, and then you connect with them too, because they're also the people that you have on their careers and stuff or whatever they're into, is something that's not like normally what everyone goes towards. Yeah. So like. You see, like they have their struggles and everything they go through, and you can relate on that with the podcast. Exactly, it's something that a lot of people are like, really, like you're doing it. I think about it too. Like so that's why sometimes like I get in my head and I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Like, is it like embarrassing that I'm doing a podcast? Like it's so, because I mean it's still like cringy. Like what my girl's really like, she's cool. She's like proud of me and stuff. So when we go out, she's like, oh yeah, he has a podcast. She's checking it out. I get very like, you don't have to, Like,
I do that, yeah.
And I should be like putting it out there, but. Yeah, so what was I going with that?
No, this
fucking Zen got me buzzing.
It really does, dude. I've used to be like, even when I started it, like I was super shy about it. Like, oh yeah, like I have a podcast. I'd say it at work or like with my friends. Like I have a podcast, and really, like you need to put yourself out there because if you don't, then like, what are you doing it for if you're not like showcasing what you have to offer, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think like your podcast is something that yeah, like not a lot of people are doing in Yuma. And that's why like I wanted to have you on like early on, because I remember when we started, there's like, oh, there's this guy that does a podcast here in Yuma, and I had never heard of it. And then when I started watching it, I'm like, dude, this guy's like doing what I would like to do. Like he has guests on, and he has his own like show. Like my thing was always like, I want to have a show where I could like just have fun and like be able to look at on it later, you know?
Yeah, dude. And it'll take a while. I mean, I don't know how you feel about. Oh, wait, real quick, going back to what I was saying. When you have your guests on, you relate to them because you know you're an up and coming like podcast, and you know, like I said, you're taking a different approach towards like a goal that, like I said, a lot of people would be like, "What the fuck? That's what you want to do?" You know what I'm saying? And all these other people, you know, because I think you've had on like what, like a wrestler. A guy like was like a high school wrestler or college wrestler? No, am I tripping?
No, that was you with what was the wrestler's name that you had on? Mexican guy.
Oh, Carlos Montion. Well, you've had
okay, so I've had on like personal trainers, esthetician, professional soccer player.
Okay, yeah, like for instance, like professional soccer player. Like that's something that is cool. Like that's something you can relate with because that's like, dude, like not a lot of people. Everyone wants to be like a professional something at some sport. You know what I'm saying? Everyone would love that as a career. Yeah. And the fact that you had someone on that, like they're a professional soccer player, like they're kind of living that dream. Like that's how they get paid. That's how they live their life. Yeah. They play a sport, a game,
it opens your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, fuck, dude, like that's the path he took and he's successful at it. And so like you have those people on because you relate with the podcast. Like, and that's what's cool is like, I've had people on that are similar to that as like their career is like something like out of the norm, and I feel a different, like I feel like a sense of respect from them because they see the podcast, even when they see like, oh, this is the camera is using, this is the lighting, opposed to like other things he's been on or they've been on, and they appreciate it. They're like, oh no, I know where you're going with this. Like you're starting where I started when I was like practicing in my garage or whatever, or practicing in my backyard, you know, soccer or pitching or whatever, you know, shooting some hoops. That's where you're starting. You're in that phase. And so they appreciate it more and they respect you like more and they have more fun on the podcast. And they're like, I get it, man. Like and it's cool that they see it where they're like, I'm helping this guy out. Like I know being on the podcast, not being in a selfish way, but they're like, I'm helping this podcast out. Yeah. And I'm helping him put out more episodes. And I don't know, it's really cool.
Yeah. It really does put like,
make sure you guys check out his podcast.
You. Please. I know, huh? But yeah, other than that, dude, like, I mean, I do all the editing, the setting everything up, and then I do get anxiety and like nervous and shit. And that's what my co-hosts make fun of me. They're like, yeah, this guy's always like right before we start, he's all nervous. And like whenever we start, like I'll start the show and I'll be like, all right, guys, well, welcome back to all right. Well, welcome back to like, because I'm all nervous from like the hour it took to set everything up, you know. But now that I have a studio, it's like, all right, I can chill. I know everything's already set up. I can just sit down, hit record, and then go from there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also it's just like I said, like they just have the freedom of showing up and sitting down and talking. Yeah, you do everything else, and so like all you do is once you press record, you're just like, fuck, dude, like here goes the episode. Hopefully we catch it. Yeah, dude, I hope everything's recording.
Didn't you guys like not record the other day, or like it was your phone messed up?
Yeah, my phone. That's why I have a newer phone. But yeah, my other phone was breaking, and I was using it on its last life, and mid record it just like died, and
dude, that's so funny. And I'm actually switching over from AT&T to Spectrum right now.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I actually am. So I really related to that shit when you guys are talking about it because, dude, like I've been on the phone with Emil. Fucking AT&T like 10 times already, dude. Like telling them like unlock my phone, my phone so I can go to Spectrum. And they'll be like, all right, it's unlocked. And then like, do you need anything else today? And I'm like, no, as long as my phone's unlocked, it's good. And like, all right, have a nice day. And then 1 week later, my phone's still not unlocked, and I'm like, "Dude, come on, bro! Like AT&T." So Emil's right when he said AT&T was number 2, and now it's dropped down to the last one.
It's going lower, dude. That's dope though. I'm gonna clip all this Spectrum footage and send it to him and be like, "Bro, I need a sponsor." Yeah, I got you someone on camera.
Seriously, dude, Spectrum's.
Dude, I've had no issues.
Yeah, and how's the data? Like, does it cut off in random places? Because AT&T, dude, I'll be at Walmart and that shit cuts off.
So I don't like saying it, but you know where I live. Out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
In the YPG, let's say that.
Okay.
So being out there, with Verizon, I got pretty good service, not gonna lie. but there were areas that I knew it was gonna cut off.
Yeah.
And with Spectrum, not because I have them now, but dude, I haven't had that issue.
Okay.
And like before,
Spectrum's good.
dude, like before, I don't know if you know this, but like I don't know if you use Apple Music.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when you play music, if it's not downloaded and you're using like just like regular phone service, if it's not the greatest service, all your songs won't play. They have to play only what's downloaded.
It gets annoying.
With Verizon, dude, I'd be at work and I had to play like a downloaded the downloaded music.
And then you're like, all right, well, what do I have downloaded? And it's only like 4 songs out of an album, and you're like, fuck, dude.
It's not a lot. Yeah, it's not a lot opposed to like everything. And dude, with Spectrum, I could be at work, and I do landscaping and stuff. So like I could be out there with no Wi-Fi, and I'm playing every song on my album because I just have such great service that every song is going. Yeah, dude, I fucking love it. So I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah, check it out.
That's like 3 episodes already that AT&T has not done a good job.
Yeah, dude, I'm on a roll. Change. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna change everyone one by one.
One by one.
Spectrum's gonna be number one.
Yeah.
Do you gotta go soon?
What time is it? I got like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But I do want to hear a Jordan's World. I'm excited for that.
Okay, yeah, we got time for this. So we got Jordan's World where I complain about shit that I assume other people will agree on, like the majority of people. But really, it's only a me problem and issue I encounter. All right, so this one, I hate people, or I strongly dislike people that make a big deal about their birthday. Or if they post about their birthday, or if they put one of those countdowns on their Instagram being like, 4 days till my birthday. Dude. And not only this, especially when it's like your 24th birthday or something. Exactly. Or like your 27th. Like it's not your 21st. It's not your 30th.
It's not your 50th. Like it's just a random year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, I mean, and no disrespect. Like I know, I think this mainly, like, it's not a sexist thing, but it's mainly towards girls. I see girls mainly do this.
Yeah. I think girls really like it's Christmas and their birthday, dude. But like girls make a big deal about their birthday.
Chill out, dude. I'll do a Christmas
countdown.
I'll do a Christmas countdown.
430 days till Christmas, guys.
That's like, one day out of the entire year. We can do that. But no, dude, when it's your birthday, it's just like, what are you really celebrating? And when you think about it, like, not to get depressing, but as you get older, you're just like celebrating like closer to death.
Now you are making it depressing.
I'm sorry, but like, but in that case, it's like, because then that's like Valentine's Day. It's like, why would you be special on that one day? Like, why not just? Why do you celebrate your life on that one day? Just every day, celebrate your life a little. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people say that about Valentine's Day. Yeah, and then you gotta like buy shit. And Christmas just passed, and you already spent a bunch of money.
Legit, dude. Me and my girl don't celebrate it, but this year, I don't know, maybe because the baby or whatever, but she got me some things, and of course she made them like from the baby. But I was like very shocked because I didn't get her anything. But like she didn't trip. But that's always like, I luckily planted the seed very early. So like when we first started dating, when Valentine's came around, I was very cool about it. I was like, I think that shit's lame. Like, I mean, we can celebrate it, but I mean, you know, I could just do like Valentine's shit whenever I want. It doesn't have to be on like. So she was like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't really like it either, and it always stuck that way. So we've never celebrated it. And plus, it's like if we do celebrate Valentine's Day somewhat, it'll be like that weekend. It won't be the day of because everything's packed.
True.
It's so stressful for that one day. Dude. It's stupid, dude. You can celebrate it later. No one celebrates their birthday on the actual day,
bro. And then I feel like you go to any restaurant here in town, and dude, it's packed. Like
especially where
it's not like a huge city where you can just find a spot where like it's not that packed. Every restaurant is packed, and then then there's traffic, and then there's all this and that. And I mean, I don't mean to be like Valentine's Day sucks, but it's just like I want to celebrate my girl every day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Not to be all gay and stuff, but yeah, it's just like, dude, just like the things you would get them, like just get them flowers like whenever. Just get them like fucking whatever you do on Valentine's Day, just do it like every now and then.
But I think the birthday thing is so funny, dude. Like, girls overdo it with their birthday. Yeah, dude. Like you can't even lie. And like a girl watching this, like, come on, you know you overdo it for your birthday. Yeah, and by no means like do what you do. Like I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying that's something that I'm like I don't really. Yeah, it's not a big deal to me. But you know, maybe it's a guy thing that like we don't really care about.
And honestly, if you're a guy doing it, like that's gay. Like seriously, dude.
That's
like
queef.
That's you know what? That goes with guys. I'm gonna make a list. Guys shouldn't celebrate their birthday or be that excited for the birthday. And 2, they shouldn't take selfies. Oh. Guys should not take selfies. There should be no picture on your social media, in your story, anywhere with you in a mirror holding your own phone up.
Ah, dude.
And if anything, I know you have some, you little cornball. You don't have any? He about to go.
No, I like being celebrated for my birthday when I'm not expecting it, or like, you know, if your family or your girl wants to do something for you. But I'm not gonna like go out of my way to be like, guys, this is my birthday. Like, I'm gonna throw a party and like I'm gonna do this and that.
Yeah, and like everyone wants to put like a theme for the birthday. It's like you're the theme. Like we're celebrating you. Like it's very just like
I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any friends.
But yeah, so like celebrating your birthday for a guy is a no-go, and taking selfies.
Yeah.
Like even if it's
taking
a picture,
selfies is a big deal because
I'll even respect if you handed the phone to someone like, hey, take a picture of my fit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's mostly like what like me and my friends do now. It's like, well, I don't really post pictures of myself. I've never really been like that. But I do have a few up, and even posting those, I'm like, I don't know, like I don't really like posting pictures of just me in the picture. It feels weird to me.
Yeah, and I'll retract my statement on that. I'll also say, unless like your thing or like your Instagram or like your page is like you're taking selfies to like for your outfit, like that's what you're posting about, then okay, I get that. Because I mean, shout out Caesar, shout out Dapper. That's what he does. I know he's got some selfies in the mirror. No disrespect on him, but his page is pushing fashion and stuff.
Yeah,
and he has a great sense of fashion. So
if
I
it
want
pertains
to
to like what you're doing, then it makes sense. But yeah, like the mirror, like a random bathroom, you're just posting a picture of yourself in the mirror. Like
but Caesar better not be fucking celebrating his 26th birthday.
Yeah, a little countdown, dude. I'm gonna start calling people out if they put a countdown to their birthday. I'm gonna be pissed.
Just be like, really?
Yeah,
that's all you gotta do. Really?
That's funny, dude.
But I know you gotta go, so we're gonna wrap this up. Sebas, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me use your studio. Thank you for being such a way better guest than Emil.
Bro, nah, prepared. I feel like this is the first one. I'm a little rusty because I've never been on any other podcast other than like my own.
You did great. You did good.
So I just want to say, Emil, no beef. I think you're dope. You're a good co-host, and keep this guy in check in doing his podcast because it's really changing what we're doing here in Yuma, dude. Like I kind of look at you as like an older brother in the sense of like podcasts, you know. That's
good. Thank you, though.
I don't care, bro.
I know. I'm sorry. It's very hard to take like cheesy compliments. I know. But I deep down appreciate it.
I like kind of speaking motivationally, but it's in a way where like I do mean it. Like I'm not just saying it to be cheesy. Like I know it comes off as cheesy, but like I really do see what you're doing as like something to look up to and like look forward to because you look like you're having a lot of fun when you do it.
No, man, I'm just fucking with you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's fun to do, man, and I'm very glad that you're doing it. You're a great person to do. There's a lot of people doing them, and I'm like,
thank you.
You know, and no disrespect, but I'm just like, I don't. This isn't cool, man. It's not fun. It's not interesting to watch. It's not good. I'm sorry. And you can be real. Like there's good shit and there's bad shit. Just be real about it. Not everyone has to be like, oh man, they're working on it. Like you can see it that way, but you know when something's got potential. And like your shit's got potential, so I respect it, and that's dope, man.
Appreciate that, dude.
I hope you keep going. Let's plug your stuff. What do you got? The podcast?
Yeah, so Sebleon Show on Instagram, on TikTok. We have a Facebook page. I gotta be more consistent on that, but
I have one too. Yeah, I stopped posting like a long time ago. I should get back into it.
Yeah, Facebook's kind of hard, but I think that's where you catch like the older audience.
It helps. You definitely reach another audience. Yeah.
And then on YouTube, if you just search up Sebleon Internet Show, it should pop up. We are on our 25th episode. And, you know, we really just want to keep it going. And now we got a studio to record in. And anytime you need, like something like that pops up where you need to record here, like, bro, you got it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, like, damn, slob on the pod, I'm here. You know, I never thought it would happen, bro. There was a point where I was like, yeah, Jordan doesn't fuck with me anymore.
Oh, dude. No. You were always. I've always been wanting to get you on as a guest. But like I said, now that we're pushing it towards like one guest a month.
Yeah. And I think that's the right direction to go into.
Yeah, and we kind of had people that I hit up before, and I kind of feel bad now that they're hitting me up. I'm like, all right, like I can get you on now. And it's just like now that we're doing once a month, it's like 5 people on a list is no longer like an episode. It's a month. So
that's true.
But yeah, I'm just glad you got you on. We'll definitely have to get one with you in the studio with us.
Yeah, bet.
And Emil, so he can fucking defend himself.
I know. I want to see what the dynamic is with me, you, and Emil, and I feel like it would be funny. And like I'm kind of nervous, bro, because he's got a lot of wisdom.
It'll be good. We'll have you and Eric on. Eric can relate to Emil.
That'd be chill.
Not doing anything.
Eric, your cousin? Oh, bro, I'm thinking
your co-host. You piece of shit,
bro. God, I was like, what are you talking? Yeah, my mind was going blank right there.
Fuck, your co-host.
Yeah, no, yeah. Eric, if you want to be on too, got you, bro.
He has an open invite.
He's a gym guy right now, dude. Consistent gym guy.
That's good. That's good. Good on you. I know. I think after the episode I did with you guys, I think he went to the gym right after.
Yeah.
So like,
no,
right,
he like
on
takes
a Friday
it
night,
serious.
chill out, bro.
I know, dude.
Who are you?
But now he said he's gonna like be focused on the podcast, and then whatever gym session he can't get in that day, he'll just push it to the weekend. So I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah,
like, I appreciate that.
There's ways around it. You just got to know what you really want.
Yeah. But Jordan's going to be on episode 26 of our podcast, and I will definitely be celebrating episode 50 and 100 and 150 and 200, and fuck whatever Jordan thinks about that. And, you know, from time to time, I'll post a queef quote on my story.
Yeah, do it just to despise.
I'm going to be myself, you know.
And I'm going to screenshot it and call him out.
I know, you should. That'd be funny.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
make sure you guys check out Solving the Pod, the Instagram. Make sure you guys subscribe on the YouTube. Please subscribe. People are actually subscribing. That's actually cool. That's the toughest one to get. So if you guys can help me out with that. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning into the episode. Yes, and hopefully next time we see you, Emil will be here. Hopefully he's alive. All right, guys, we're out.
All right.
Enemy!